Electric cars are taking charge of the auto market. Get it? Taking charge? Whatever. So people keep saying that electric vehicles have no demand and they're not taking over. But according to this chart from Bloomberg, we can see that's a completely different story. In 2017, as you can see, gasoline vehicles hit their peak in sales, and since then, it's been on a slow decline. And this trend will continue into the future. Other people will disagree. Oh well, because this is the trend. Electric vehicles are coming to market a lot faster and a lot sooner. Gasoline cars are going down in sales. This trend will continue, and a lot of the gasoline car lovers will fight against it and say this is blah, 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 it's baloney, this isn't real. But it's true, this is happening, and it's very, very much so happening in China because China has already past 50% new vehicles sold in the entire country are electric vehicles. And a lot of analysts thought that this would come by 2030. And here we are in 2024, and EV demand is up, especially in parts of the world, not just America, but in Norway, Sweden, Norway, 80% of the new cars that were sold last year were electric vehicles. And this trend is going to continue until basically every new car that is sold out of these countries will be electric vehicles. And a lot of people keep saying that, oh, hybrids are the future, plug-in hybrids. Well, look at this chart, people. As you can see, they do have some sales and some growth, but nothing compared to electric vehicles. EVs are the things that are going to be popping off the most when it comes to sales. Not only that, compared to electric vehicles and hybrids are more expensive to create and also to maintain. Electric vehicles are much cheaper to maintain, period. Specifically, Teslas. Not even just electric vehicles, just Teslas in general, according to this chart from Consumer Reports, have the lowest amount of money spent to basically maintain it. For the first 5 years, it's about $500. And then after that, 6 to 10 years, it's around $4,000. And a lot of people would like to fight against this, but hey, we have data and data is here to show. And if this data is fake, then hey, prove me wrong. Show me where it's real data elsewhere that shows that electric vehicles are actually declining completely in sales. Yes, electric vehicles did have a decline in sales, but it wasn't just EVs. It was all cars across the board. All car companies had a very, very, very terrible first quarter of the year. And this whole thing with hybrids, car companies are just telling people whatever they can to continue to make people buy hybrids because they're losing a lot of money on their electric vehicles. Ford was losing $40,000 for every electric vehicle that they sold. But recently, to new data, apparently they've been losing $130,000 for every electric vehicle they sold. And if this is true, this is terrible. But definitely Lucid was losing around $300,000 for every EV sold. And this is because they're not at economies of scale. The more they scale up, the less money they will lose because they'll pump out more and make more money. So car companies are telling people that, hey, hybrids are the future. Hybrids are more expensive to make. Hybrids are more expensive to maintain because they have more parts. You have two super complex propulsion systems in one car. Electric vehicles are very complex. Engines are very complex. And to smash them together is a very wild idea to say that this is the future, but they are much more expensive than just a regular gasoline car. So, saying that hybrids are the future, maybe down the line, but right now, I don't know if that's really going to be the case because electric vehicles are obviously taking off a lot faster than just plug-in hybrids. And plus, they're going to tell you to buy hybrids and they're the future. You want to know why? Because people are actually buying them still, and companies are making profits off of them, saying that they're the future because, we can't sell our electric vehicles, so please just buy these other things that, are somewhat good for the environment. And there are people out there who want to do good for the environment. And as soon as they hear something like, oh, hybrids are good for the environment, they buy them, even though hybrids are actually letting off a lot more emissions than they claim they do. I made a whole video about this already. If you've seen it, go tune in. You'll see it over there where it says hybrids suck. And whenever someone says that there's no EV demand, don't forget to check out this list. This is a pretty accurate list so far of what's happening and what will be continued happening. But I think that the drop off for gasoline vehicles may happen a lot sooner than most people think. So there's been talk around the town that there's a chance that hybrids are probably going to phase out because they are more expensive for car companies to make them. They are not cheaper to be made. They are very complex devices to be put together. So if car companies have to spend more money to make them and they're making, decent profits on them, but not enough profits to stay in business, they're going to have to jump ship with certain projects that aren't working. Oh, and the new Tesla Model 3, what a beast. This thing has been called the M3 killer, the BMW M3 that is, because this car goes 0 to 60 seconds in 2.9 seconds. In real world, I mean, even with people in the car, this has been tested with 2 passengers, and this car still hits that number. I mean, the whole idea of paying more money to get a faster car just pretty much went out the window when it comes to this new Tesla Model 3, because it's called the M3 Killer because basically it is faster than the $80,000 BMW M3, and you can just get the new one for half the price. The Tesla, I mean, you can get the Tesla for half the price of the BMW M3, and it goes faster. It's cheaper and faster. I mean, and it's also very nice. The interior of it, people have been saying that the interior seats are much better, the handling, the grip, everything about it. Basically, if you're a car enthusiast and you like cars that are quick and fast, and you rather have like a Benz or a BMW, that's okay. But now people who can't afford that car can get inside of a car that's half the price and completely keep up with the competition and beat them, basically smoke them on the track if they really wanted to. This Tesla Model 3 is no joke, people. It is the beginning of the end of buying expensive cars to get speed. Teslas and electric vehicles are taking over. They have more torque and they have more speed overall. Electric vehicles in general are taking over, people. I mean, you don't have to believe me, but we will see for sure. I mean, I can't prove it to you right now, but as time goes forward, people will recognize, oh, this really is happening. This isn't just a trend. I mean, once upon a time, people rode around in horses, right? And cars came out and people thought that'll never happen. That'll never take off. We're in the same scenario literally right now. Everyone keeps saying that EVs are stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's never going to happen. It's a toy for the rich man. And all these things are changing over time. Just like when cars came out, they were for the rich people. But now eventually they figured out how to make them at economies of scale and sell them globally. And look where we are now. So the next step is electric vehicles. Well, thanks for tuning in again today. I post videos every day about what's going on in the auto market. I talk about Tesla, big tech, and all sorts of things. Be sure to tune in again, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you tomorrow.